Imagine a tale of intrigue, mystery, and danger stretching across the vast tapestry of India. Picture an era where loyalty was pledged not to kings or empires, but to a clandestine deity. Envision a time where the shadows were not just a symbol of darkness, but also home to the silent whispers of dread. This tale, my friends, is the saga of the Thuggees, the cult assassins of India, a lethal syndicate known for their ruthless practices and unyielding devotion. For those unfamiliar with the term, Thuggees were members of a secret religious fraternity that existed in India for nearly 600 years. To them, each murder was an act of religious devotion to their dark deity, the goddess Kali. Their victims numbered in the hundreds of thousands, cementing their status as one of the most deadly secret societies to have ever existed. In fact, the English word thug comes from Thuggee, as these assassins were known to blend with ordinary people hiding in plain sight before striking with cold-blooded precision. The Thuggee order is believed to have originated in the 13th century, evolving from a gang of thieves to a tightly organized and well-disciplined association. They operated under the cover of darkness or while traveling with unsuspecting victims with whom they would spend days, sometimes even weeks, to gain trust. When the time was right, they would strangle their prey using a handkerchief or noose, leaving no trace of their gruesome act. Their method of operation was as cunning as it was terrifying. First, they would select a target, preferably a wealthy traveler. Using their exceptional social skills, they would earn the victim's trust by appearing as fellow travelers or offering protection on the perilous roads of the Indian subcontinent. Once they infiltrated the traveling party, they would patiently wait for the opportune moment, often choosing a place where the ground was soft enough to dig graves without attracting attention. And then, without warning, they would strike. Their weapon of choice was a rumal, a simple handkerchief with a coin tied at one end. With a swift and practiced motion, they would wrap the rumal around the victim's neck, using the coin as leverage to strangle them. It was a method that left no blood, no visible wound, just the eeriness of a sudden death. The Thuggees were not only known for their ruthless killing, but also for their religious rituals. It is believed that they worshipped Kali, the Hindu goddess of death and destruction, with immense reverence. Every murder was followed by a series of elaborate rituals, and it was their firm belief that their brutal deeds were offerings to their goddess, that each life taken was a step towards spiritual liberation. After each killing, the Thuggees would meticulously bury their victims, looting their possessions and leaving no trace of their foul deeds. In their mind, it was not theft, but rather a ritualistic gathering of the victims' worldly possessions as a tribute to their deity. The Thuggees maintained a level of secrecy that made them nearly impossible to identify or capture. Their identities were concealed so well that even their families were often oblivious to their true nature. Their code of silence was strictly maintained, and breaking it was punishable by death. This made it extremely difficult for authorities to infiltrate or dismantle the order, leading to its persistence for centuries. Ironically, the doom of the Thuggees came from within their own ranks. In the early 19th century, an imprisoned thug named Amir Ali broke the order's sacred code of silence. In exchange for his life, he revealed the secrets of the cult to the British authorities. His confessions, coupled with the relentless efforts of British officer William Sleeman, led to the capture and execution of thousands of Thuggees, eventually leading to the disintegration of the order by the mid-19th century. It is fascinating to understand how the Thuggees operated, with their principles of trust, secrecy, and deception forming the cornerstone of their existence. These assassins were products of a complex intersection of culture, religion, and a desire for power and wealth. They were simultaneously feared and revered, their legend leaving an indelible mark on the history of India. However, the legacy of the Thuggees is a double-edged sword. On one hand, they remind us of the dark side of blind faith and religious extremism. On the other hand, they serve as a stark reminder of the importance of law and order in a society. So, as we delve into the annals of history and relive the saga of the Thuggees, we must remember that their tale is more than just a story. It is a cautionary tale about the lengths humans can go when blinded by faith and the perils societies face when law and order give way to chaos and anarchy. In conclusion, the Thuggees, despite their brutal legacy, are an integral part of India's rich history. They exemplify the dark side of devotion and the dangers of religious extremism. Their story serves as a reminder to us all to tread carefully when traversing the narrow path between faith and fanaticism. Today, as we live in an era that is witnessing the rise of various forms of extremism, the lessons from the Thuggees have never been more relevant. This is why we must never forget the tale of the Thuggees, the cult assassins of India.